Hello and welcome to the Wrestling Answers podcast. I am your host, Miyamo Jeff 53, joined as ever by my wonderful co-host, Joebot 22.
Hello, it's me. It's a bit of a dell for you in the morning. Well, let's go on in the evening. Just
Yes,
wait,
yeah,
wait a few hours and watch this in the morning, so my joke makes sense.
yes.
For us,
Uh,
it's morning, so you already know what the episode's going to be like. Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
So it's Friday morning. We're recording this. Hopefully, I'll have grafted and grinded. I would have got this out by Friday evening. Um, but we'll see. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, from the much louder background noise than usual. I am no longer at home. Yeah, yesterday I moved up to university. I'm not going to say where. I think I've said it before in the podcast, but if you want to know, look for it. I'm not telling you. But yes, I moved up to university as of yesterday. So that's obviously, well, that's not the only reason why our schedules shifted. It's also because Joe's obviously his schedule's changed as well. But yeah, I
I don't know
digress.
why they do it they switch it every year at my college.
Hmm.
I don't get it. Like, it can't be like so hard to just keep us on the same week and then move the other class that's coming in.
Yeah, I suppose. I think it's more
Bullshit.
just like the teachers. I don't know. Uh,
Well, they have to be there anyway.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
I
But
would
yes,
write a letter about it, but I'm in my final
can't.
year, so fuck it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm my first. But yeah, we digress. And we'll get on to our first topic. And it's a topic that I called this, but I thought it was going to happen quite a bit later on. So, Mr. Large E. Langston, Big E, of course, cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Sir Robert Lashley on Monday Night Raw, and he won the WWE Championship. Um, Now, I thought this was going to happen. Like, I thought he was going to cash in on Roman Reigns. I thought that's what they were building towards, really, but apparently not. Um, and I just think maybe this, personally, I think maybe they're rushing into it a little bit. But I just wanted to, get your opinion, and then I suppose we'll, I don't know, come to a consensus or something. So yeah, do you think Big E won the belt too early?
Ooh, yeah. I think they could have done it at a better time. I think with it being like this point in the year, they're just gonna have him lose it in a few months, like before Mania, where I think he should have won it before Mania. Because I don't think he's gonna go into Mania with the belt.
I
Um,
would agree with you there. I think he's going to drop it. Maybe the Rumble, maybe Survivor Series, even.
yeah, and
Uh,
I think they have proved that that's their intentions by doing it this early.
yeah. Well, they sort of did it with McIntyre, didn't they? Like they had McIntyre pick up the belt, hold it for a little bit, and then drop it, and then he won it back again. I
Yeah,
think we're going to see something quite similar here. I think he's going to hold it until, I don't know, Survivor Series, maybe the Royal Rumble. Um, Drop it to a heel, win it back at Mania. You know, big happy moment for the guy. And there you go.
exactly.
Like it's like wrestling booking 101, isn't it?
I mean, what they'll probably do is they'll probably just have him like lose it and then like win the Rumble
Yeah, yeah,
and it'll be like, oh, in the space of a year, he's got the Money in the Bank, he won the title, won the Rumble,
won the
we won it
Rumble.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is
yeah,
great. I'm glad that
I
they're
can see
building
that.
towards that.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I'm very happy
but
that they're pushing him.
it's very obvious that's what they're doing.
Yeah, and like I said, I do think maybe they've pulled the trigger a bit early. I would have given it a couple more months. Uh, like it felt very out of nowhere, didn't it? Like there was no build to it. He just like announced before Raw went on. He said, "I'm gonna cash this in on you, Bobby Lashley," and then he beat him, and that was that.
Didn't he do it in a tweet?
Yes, he
I
tweeted and was
remember.
like, "I'm cashing in, baby."
Dear.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I have a good idea as to why they've done this now, at least. And I think there's three specific letters that's caused them to make a decision like this. Because obviously, AEW, up until this Wednesday, was actually worth watching. The reason I say up until this Wednesday is because Cody's back now. So I watched 2 weeks of it, saw Cody was back and turned it off. So it was good until
I'm not having
Wednesday.
this Cody slander. I used to love
He's
Cody when he was in
shite.
WWE.
Yeah, but like in AEW, he's living out his Triple H power fantasy.
I guess
Like,
so.
oh, I'm booking myself to go over, brother. I've got a neck tattoo. You know, like he looks like a ponce. He books himself like he's Triple H. Thing is, he books himself like he's Triple H, and then he takes the piss out of Triple H in like promos and like entrances and stuff. Like you, you clearly idolize the guy, so why fucking macking him off so much?
He's gonna come out on
The,
like a quad bike in his next entrance.
Brandy's on like a
Brandy on the back.
the sidecar or something.
Oh, fucking hell. Just come out with sledgehammer and just like fucking
Yeah,
gimp
he'll
outfit.
break the chair again. He comes out in like the cycling shorts Triple H wore at Survivor Series, like back in '03 or SummerSlam rather. But yeah, I don't know. As long as he's not being pushed into the main event, then I think I'll be okay with it. I have a horrible, horrible feeling he's gonna have like a feud with Daniel Bryan or God forbid CM Punk
Oh, you
because
know he
if
is.
that happens, I just oh ooh,
Just think about the media buzz that they've got when they
yeah,
join. He's gonna be all over that like a
and then
fucking.
Cody Rhodes comes in to steal the spotlight.
I can't even think of an analogy that would be that extreme. Like if you know, I just can't think of something that
If you know what I'm saying.
yeah, it's just he'll be all over it.
He will be all over it like butter on toast.
Not even that,
Marmite on
because
toast.
you could have something else on
No,
toast.
Marmite. He's
Cody
Marmite on
Rhodes would be
toast
like,
because some people love him and some people hate him.
I guess so.
However, I like Marmite and I don't like Cody. So
Fair enough.
yeah,
Um,
fucking, I'll sending for him. Do a diss track on Cody Rhodes. Bitch
Think
boy.
about that. The fucking diss track that was sent in our Discord this morning.
Oh my god. I don't even know what
Oh,
it is. Like, yeah,
it's brilliant.
I watched
Go
about
watch after we
I watched
record
about
it.
15 seconds of it and I didn't really understand what was going on. I turned off.
There's a fucking line where it's like, your birth certificate was an apology letter. I just fucking had me howling.
Ooh, that is. You know
Oh,
what? That's that's
I'm
quite
using
hard.
that one when I do yours. I do a distracting you.
Ooh,
I'm gonna take from that. I was actually
my
fucking
birth
dying.
certificate's the receipt.
Yeah, that's a better one.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Uh, yeah. So back to Mr. Langston. Um, We've talked him up quite highly on the show before. Like, I remember when he first won it. I remember we were sort of like fantasy booking what he was going to do, and because obviously he was and technically still is on SmackDown as well. I thought he was going to go into a feud with Reigns. He was being built up as the next big face, so it would only make sense for him to go up against the big heel. But obviously, big bloody Viking farmer Brock Lesnar's come back, so we're not going to be getting that match anytime soon.
Fuck Brock. Me and the boys hate Brock.
Well, I don't hate him, but
I do.
yeah,
Oh,
of course
I'm gonna have a 6 month holiday. Oh, let me win the title when I come back.
he won't win it. Well,
Better not.
I say that. I I don't know
I'll go
actually.
down there
He might.
defeating myself.
Well, the match is in Saudi Arabia as well.
Joe
So
versus Brock. Book it, Vince.
the
Joe hit the balls.
greatest Royal Rumble.
Honestly, we should actually tweet at WWE. Let them know if we can like do commentary. One
Just
off.
do like a backstage segment for when they come for the UK tour.
Well, I had like Logan Paul. He's a social media star.
He's also got about 20 million more subscribers than we do.
Ah, we're all
So
right. We have enough.
we might get a segment in NXT UK or 205 Live of them all.
We'll get a show on our network. What was the one where they go around pranking people? Swerved or swished? Swooped?
Swished. Oh my god.
It
It
was
probably
something.
swerved, I think. Sounds about right. Didn't Dolph Ziggler host it or something?
Oh, probably.
He seems like a guy who would host a prank show, doesn't he? He made for not NXT, MTV.
See, I would have thought the Miz would be better, but
Maybe, yeah.
they don't have the hindsight that I do when it comes to these
Mm,
things.
yeah.
But
Uh,
that's just me talking smack.
it's a good one, mate. That's subtle. Good one.
If you can see the grin on my face. What are we fucking on about? Oh,
Yeah,
this
we've
is
just
the problem. Early morning fucking recording. We're just rambling. Oh my
yeah.
god.
We're
I'm just
just
here making
both a
puns.
bit like tired or something. Oh, just both a bit tired. Um, Probably I'm more tired than Joe. From what he's told me, he got himself a very nice night's sleep.
Wow,
Um,
I went to bed. Well, no, I went to bed later than I normally would this week.
all right.
That's why I'm tired because I've been going to bed at like 10. Last night I went to bed at like
10? Bloody hell.
half 12.
Crikey.
I was waiting for Montero, but apparently it was dropping at 4 a.m. So
It has dropped since.
yeah, I started listening to it. Awesome.
Uh,
I love me some Lil Nas X.
can tell, mate. So yeah, Big E, I think he's won the belt a bit early. But I mean, all credit to him. He seems like a lovely lad. So, I'm not going to hold it against him. And he's a good wrestler as well. Like he's got the crowd on his side. So not really a lot else you could ask for from him. Yeah, so we'll leave that there. We'll move on to our second segment. Shang-Chi. It is a film, and we've both seen it now. So I suppose first we'll just give like general thoughts and then go a little bit deeper in. We'll try and avoid spoilers as much as possible. There might be some like minor ones from early in the film or ones that they show in the trailers, for example. But we'll try and
Yeah, I
keep
think
it
it
spoiler free.
fits if it's like a poster
Yeah, like if it's on
or
the
a
poster,
trailer,
it's in a
it's
trailer.
allowed.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, just what were your like general thoughts about the film then?
Well, I know this is a bit of a debate because people are saying like, yeah, it's a good like Marvel film, but it's not like quite high up. But I disagree with that. I think that it's one of the best Marvel films, like around top 10, top 5 even. Um, and I was thinking of some examples that I was considering to be a bit higher, and I just don't think they're as good. But that comes from a place of me only seeing the film once. So obviously there has to be a bit of a second or third viewing, especially for me who watches these films like just 10 times. Um, like I think I've seen One Division about 10 times now, and I still think it's pretty crap. Um,
Ooh.
I enjoyed it when it came out, but
Yeah, I did as
you
well.
can't rewatch it a billion times because it makes.
Yeah, it loses the I suppose it loses like the sense of mystery when you know what's going on there, doesn't it?
Well, this is just a quick side note, but a lot of these fucking Disney Plus shows, they're only good at like if you watch them weekly. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
the reason why I hated The Mandalorian so much. But if I watched that like the week it came out, or at least season two, because we couldn't watch season one legally over
weekly.
here when it
Yeah,
came out.
yeah. We didn't
Um,
get Disney Plus for like another 9 months or something after it launched in the US.
yeah, but a lot of these Disney Plus shows you have to watch them every week, or it just gets lost because every episode
Mm.
is like a cliffhanger, and you're speculating for a week, and then it comes out.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, What If is very different to that, which is kind of cool.
yeah. What if is different because it's not like episodic. It's just story by story.
But it also makes me
So
less hype for What If. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's sort of like I've said it quite a few times. Yeah, we even talked about it last week. I've only watched 2 episodes of it because
Mm,
for me, because it's not episodic, it it doesn't feel like a show that I need to watch. Like it's one I can skip quite easily
yeah.
because it doesn't affect like the main story kind of elements of the MCU. Like Hawkeye, I'm not really super excited for it, but I'm probably still going to watch it week in week out anyway because it is episodic and it will affect the MCU. So I
Mm.
need to stay on top of things.
I'm hyped
But
for Hawkeye personally, but back to Shang-Chi.
yes, yeah. Back to Shang-Chi.
Uh, I just thought it was really good, and I don't think there's been a this is obviously coming from bias because we've not had a Marvel film since well in 2 years now because Far From Home was two
Well,
years ago.
well,
Well, Black Widow. But,
yeah. We don't talk about Black Widow. It's
sorry. Um,
it's not
well,
good.
it's the first film I watched. I have watched Black Widow now. It was all right.
It's
Um,
just painfully mid.
yeah, but no, I thought Shang-Chi was brilliant and it was the best film we got in a while. I think it gets a lot of the same thing that like solo films got. Um, like if we talk like actual solo films, so let's take out Civil War, because that's even though it is a Captain America film, it's very
It's like an Avengers light, isn't it?
yeah. Thor Ragnarok will count as a solo film.
Well, that's because it is.
Uh,
Like the only other like superhero in it is Hulk. So
I guess,
that one
but
is a lot closer to a solo film than your Civil War or
yeah,
I was going to say Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, I would consider a solo film because it's very much about Captain America. Civil War is like about Captain America and then also Iron Man and like the rest of the Avengers. So
yeah,
that's sort of my way of like determining whether a solo film feels like a solo film is whether it's all about the main character or not. Because if it isn't, I wouldn't consider it a solo film.
we could do a whole segment about that.
We could,
But
but we're not. We're doing a segment on Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi is probably the best solo film we've had since around probably Black Panther.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Uh, I just don't think of. I don't think Captain Marvel was as good. I don't think
Captain Marvel's mid. I
we'll
really don't like
we'll
it that
class
much.
Ant-Man and the Wasp as a solo film because I guess they're both Ant-Man characters.
Yeah.
Um, and uh, Spider-Man Far From Home was all right, but wasn't as good as Shang-Chi or Black Panther.
On rewatches, I actually sort of like the film less. Like each time I watch it, it sort of it goes down in my estimations. Like every time I watch it, I think, yeah, this, you know, I realize more and more how it just feels like Iron Man Junior.
It's a really bad Spider-Man film. Like,
Yeah,
it's a good like
like
Peter Parker film. It's a good like
yes, yes.
passing the torch from Iron Man film.
Yeah, that's my big thing with Tom Holland is he does a superb Peter Parker, but as Spider-Man, maybe it's more the writing than his fault. But as Spider-Man, he's probably the weakest of the three we've seen, and like that's
Yeah,
including Andrew Garfield because he just doesn't feel like Spider-Man yet. He feels like how many films have we seen him in now? Five? Yeah, five, and we've got a sixth one coming out. It just feels like he hasn't grown a massive amount as a character. Like you would have thought he'd be acting more adult now. Like I know obviously in the timeline he's like what, 8 18, 19?
oh, it'll be about 16, I think.
60? Oh my god. Okay, so if he is 16 I can sort of understand it, but at the same time like he's been doing it for a minimum of like 2 years now in the MCU, I think, going off
Mm.
timeline. That's enough time for him to grow as a character and to grow as a person, I think. And yet he hasn't. Maybe he will in Far From Home, but like I say, Peter Parker in those films I quite like. It's when he becomes Spider-Man. It's like there's so much emphasis on Stark. Like
Mm.
it's not emphasis on Spider-Man. It's emphasis on Stark. Both of your villains so far, they're not villains because of Spider-Man, and they're not villains out to get Spider-Man specifically. Well, I mean,
But he's just like collateral.
Mysterio is, but like because Tony's dead,
Mm.
and he's the closest thing, because obviously he was Tony's protege or whatever.
But
Like
Mysterio wasn't even out to get Spider-Man until he found out Mysterio's.
secret, yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Like it literally, like both him and Adrian Toomes, their entire thing is against Stark. Like, and Spider-Man just gets caught up in the middle of it. Like, I watched Homecoming again for I don't know how many times I've seen. I think I've seen it like 3 times now. I watched it again, uh, literally like 2 days ago, and it really made me realize the Vulture is not a good Spider-Man villain in that film because he does not focus on Spider-Man that much. Like, the only reason he focuses on Spider-Man is because he keeps getting in his way. Like, it's more he's just trying to get back at Stark and Damage Control or whatever from taking his jobs. And Spider-Man is just the guy who's there to stop him, you know? Obviously, in like the final confrontation, Toomes knows who Peter slash Spider-Man is. Like, he knows Spider-Man is Peter, Peter is Spider-Man. And they have that very good scene in the car where he threatens him. But, like, he's not a Spider-Man villain. He's an Iron Man villain. He's not there for Spider-Man. He's there to get back at Stark. Yeah.
And like even then, like in the final battle, they don't even really like fight.
No, they
It's
don't.
just
Well, he just
he
sort of
tries to just like
crashes, doesn't
fly
he?
away and then like I'm trying to save you.
Yeah, he tries to
He's just
fly
like
away and his
crying and
his
shit.
thing just explodes. That's it. Like,
The whole point of the two Spider-Man films has been I don't need the suit to be like a hero sort of thing. Like, because we
But
saw,
that was the whole thing in the first one, though, wasn't it? Like
yeah,
Tony said, if you can't be a hero without the suit, you don't deserve it.
but like in both films, the suit is is like an important point in like defeating
Mm,
the villain.
mm,
Because if he didn't have the upgraded suit in Far From Home, he would have never got to Beck.
mm.
Like I know he used his spider sense to like dodge all the drones, but like he still had the suit, and the suit blinded him, so he could
Yeah,
focus on the spider sense.
yeah,
And then in Homecoming, he relied on the suit a lot less, but he still like I think it's like flame resistance and shit, and there's a lot of fire around. That's a stretch. That's in It's an incredible stretch, but like I just don't like how he uses the suit so much.
yeah,
And it looks like in the new one he's going to be doing a lot more, so great.
yes. Well, from what we've seen, obviously, he gets a new suit again.
But he gets two, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's like his fucking seventh new suit or something in the space of 4 movies, which is whatever. I mean, I'm all for, giving Spider-Man his different costumes, but like they can at least try and make it feel a bit more natural than just, oh, here's a new suit, here's a new suit, here's another new suit.
Buy the toy, buy the Funko
Yeah,
Pop.
buy the toys, consume our product.
You want to be this one for Halloween?
Mm. But yeah, back to Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, I feel like is in the West at least. Obviously, this is a film made for the Chinese market and the Eastern market in general.
I said it got
Like
banned in China now. I remember seeing.
I, ooh, I I I didn't know about
I
that.
heard that from TikTok, so a bit of leeway. It's probably not true, or as they were saying on TikTok, cap. Um,
Fact or cap? It may be banned from China, but it hasn't been. And the Eternals might as well.
so I remember like Smoothie you slagged off
Yes,
like the fucking
apparently he
Chinese government.
insulted China. Yeah, apparently he insulted China. Uh, but a lot of the Chinese market think it's very good. So
Who knows?
yeah, here you go. Apparently he years ago made a comment about his like great grandparents starving in communist China in the fucking 1880s or something. So, and apparently that's enough to get the film banned in China. Oh well.
I like how instead of doing something about it, they're just like, no, we're not listening. La, 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 la.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But yes, yeah, obviously this is a film made more for the Western, not the Western, the Eastern market. And to be fair, here in the Western market, it does sort of feel like it's not been really advertised that much. I think, like, I get like YouTube ads every now and then for it, but in terms of like TV ads, I've not seen any. Maybe because I don't watch a lot of TV, but
Yeah,
I've
I don't
not
watch
seen any
TV, so
for it. Um, in terms of like seeing like posters, bus stops and uh, just around, I've only seen two, uh, like at all in the last couple of months. So clearly, it's not being very heavily marketed, at least in the UK, I would say. Um,
I think it has like the lowest marketing budget of any Marvel film
yeah,
ever.
they're
But
funneling all the marketing budget into the Chinese market. That's why, and then it's just gonna do all that just for the film to get banned.
yeah, exactly. But no,
Um,
well, we were saying that a few weeks ago. A lot of solo films don't get a lot of marketing. Like, I remember seeing like
mm.
Captain Marvel. I never saw that anywhere.
I think I saw like a couple TV ads in the weeks building up to it, but like that was it. It was different with some of the other solo films. Obviously, like the solo films for the biggest, bigger stars. Like there was a hell of a lot more advertising for something like Thor Ragnarok or
Yeah.
the Spider-Man solo films.
Well,
Um,
isn't Spider-Man advertising like Sony's department?
yes, well, Sony's advertising is actually for the most part pretty good.
It's pretty good. I've seen a lot of Venom stuff about.
I
So
have, yeah, I've seen quite a lot. Yeah, Sony are really strange compared to Disney because Disney have a hell of a lot more money to spend on marketing budgets, but they don't. And then Sony have a lot less, but they still do spend like these big amounts of monies on marketing budgets for films that.
it's because they know there's going to be a big like like
Oh yeah, there's gonna be
money
well yeah
like
because they
oh, what's the fucking word?
oh
Cashback. That's not the word, but saying it, fuck it.
just
Um,
a big cashback. And I get what you're trying to say. There's going to be like a big market at the minute for Spider-Man related media. Venom is Spider-Man related media. Get the film out as soon as possible. Give it a load of marketing. Maybe people will go see it. Maybe. If they've seen the first one, they probably won't. But
oh yeah. I don't personally want to watch the new um
Venom,
Venom. Yeah.
Venom, Venom. They should get him to come back and just sing a new one, but call it Venom and Carnage. Venom, and Carnage.
And Carnage.
It's just like no, it's like in The Simpsons when they have the Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie show. It's like just the exact same theme song, but then they just add like a little bit extra to include the other person.
No, they have to like do the entire title. We just like Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah, let there be Carnage. Oh, 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 oh. Yes,
Yeah.
so we'll loop back around from Venom to Shang-Chi. I'll just give my quick thoughts on it because I still haven't. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I would say definitely, as you said, probably the strongest solo film we've seen since Black Panther. Um, I think a good deal of why I like it is because I enjoy like kung fu movies quite a lot, and obviously this wasn't like it wasn't fully blown like fucking Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon, but there was a lot of actual hand-to-hand choreography in this, as opposed to a lot of your other Marvel films, just big lasers, which unfortunately this one also had in the closing segments. But
Yeah.
it's Marvel. You can't really escape that, can you? Like, to be honest, that's one of my only real gripes about the film is like they went back to the old reliable and just big laser battle. Well, I mean, it wasn't a big laser, but it was like, oh, I was about to spoil it. Then it's not a big laser battle, but there's a lot of like big CGI bollocks going on in the final
Yeah.
battle.
Which we
Uh,
sort of expected, but
oh yeah,
it's
well,
still
it happens
a bit
in
shit to see.
every Marvel film. Like it's because every Marvel film, if you break them down, they're all the same, like formulaically. Because it's introduce your character, have them find out how to get a new power, or have something taken away from them. They struggle to get to it. Then they have a big final battle that's just a big mess of CGI that lasts about 10-15 minutes. Just sprinkle a couple jokes in, throughout the film. End credits. Like,
That's kind of funny that you said that because I went to watch with my stepdad and I said before it started, I was just like, do you want to play Marvel movie bingo? And he was just like, what are you on about? And I was like, right, I bet it's going to open with like a shot of a mountain somewhere.
yeah,
And It did.
And then yeah, it did. It opened with a shot of the mountains in China. There's another thing as well. A bit more specific, but like you always seem to get like big dramatic opening, snap cuts, and it's just someone like late for work or just getting out of bed or just like scratching their ass or something.
Yeah, that was another one I said. Yeah.
Genuinely, every film, every single Marvel film, unless it's like Captain Marvel, which actually has like a fairly serious opening.
No, Captain Marvel opened with like her getting out of bed.
Did it? I thought Captain Marvel opened with her getting on like the pre-ship with Jude Law and
No, they
the
had
other bloke.
the like the training scrap first.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like she opened and was like, "You want to fight?"
yeah. Well, there you go. That's another one to add to the bingo sheet.
Oh yeah,
God, they're all
saying
God. I
to
hate them.
people, "Do you want to fight?" That also happens a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I remember in Endgame where Thor went to Thanos, "Do you want to fight?" And
There's
then
another one you can sort of add that Shang-Chi, unfortunately, is quite culpable to do. The bad guys start attacking the main protagonist out of nowhere, and the main protagonist has no idea why they're attacking. Because
yeah,
we get this
exactly.
several times in Shang-Chi. Obviously, I'm not spoiling anything. We do see it in the trailers. They just attack him out of nowhere, so it's not a spoiler. But that does happen multiple times. Um, but yeah, like Shang-Chi, it feels like you just make your basic Marvel film, but you sprinkle in a little extra with like a lot more hand-to-hand choreography,
Mm.
and obviously like they introduce a lot of Chinese mythology kind of stuff, like um, I'm trying to think what you actually see in like the trailers and stuff. I,
Well, I mean, like the character
yeah,
of like Morris, he
yeah. Well, he
he comes from
was he in
Chinese
the
mythology.
was Morris in the?
He was in a
Fuck's
poster.
sake.
He was in a
He
poster.
was in a poster. Yeah, well, Ben
Uh,
Kingsley was known to be in the film. Ben Kingsley is in the if you didn't already know. He like
so
he's in a poster. So
it was in the poster the day before
day before the film came
I
out.
went to watch the film.
Yeah,
So it would have
and
been
you were
like a
like,
week
oh,
after the film came out. I was just like,
oh, for
"Fuck's
fuck's
sake,
sake.
I didn't want to see this." Fuck.
Yeah. Well, guess what? All the people listening who haven't seen it, now you know.
Well, there's been a poster out for a week, so also if you haven't seen it, you clearly don't care that much.
Oh yeah. Well, as we record this, the film's been out for probably close to like 2 weeks. 2 weeks bang on today because it came out on the third.
I mean, well, it's been out for 2 weeks. You've had
Yeah.
time to book off
That
holidays and
that to
work
be
if you've
fair,
been
yeah,
busy.
I was gonna say like that's my cut-off period for spoilers for stuff like Marvel films. After the 2 week period, I couldn't care less. I'm gonna fucking. It'll be nice today because it's the end of the 2 weeks. But
Yeah,
if we
I
do
don't get
talk about
angry
it,
after two
yeah,
weeks.
I would
So
say
that's my own fault right there.
yes, yeah, I would say if we do talk about it from next week, little warning to the listeners at home. We will be talking about spoilers if we do end up talking about it, probably.
Yeah,
Or rather, we will not put a spoiler warning, and we'll just talk about them in general. If we do end up talking about it, we probably won't. But yes, yeah. So Shang Chi overall, just your typical Marvel fare, really. Chinese twist. Um, it's like the chicken chow mein of Marvel films because it's pretty standard, but better than getting a chicken
you enjoy it
sandwich.
anyway.
Yeah, better than getting chicken sandwiches. So yeah, we'll move on from Shang-Chi, which is perfectly fine, to something that is currently not very fine, if you ask me. What is that, Joe?
Oh, okay. I'm presenting it. Well, this is funny because I was actually going to put this one down as well. But you beat me to the punch.
Hmm.
Why are Nintendo so shit now? And what I wanted to sort of get onto was how they just added loot. Bluetooth to the Switch.
4 years after the console came out,
Yep,
it
and
had
they did it with just a simple
just a
update.
simple update, and they've added Bluetooth capabilities, which means there's been a switch in the Switch for 4 years to turn Bluetooth on, and they just never did. That
Yeah,
is.
awful.
Ooh, whee. I mean, at
But
least we've
no,
got it now, you know? On the plus side, at least they did turn the Switch on.
can you really give them praise for
No. I'm trying to think of the very few positives that that company has.
that? Well, I think like every device has a Bluetooth now. Like even like
Hmm.
toothbrushes have Bluetooth
Oh,
capabilities.
yeah,
Pun not
yeah.
intended.
It's a good one, though.
Um, no, I really didn't mean to. I made the connection. Um,
A Bluetooth connection.
hey,
Yeah,
hey.
that one was rubbish. That was poor.
No, no, no. I'll hug it up. I appreciate the effort. Um,
Hmm.
at least one of us is trying. But yeah, so Bluetooth is everywhere now, so I don't know why they couldn't do it sooner. Especially if
I
it
think they just
was
forgot,
just
to be
that
honest.
simple. Yeah,
Genuinely,
I
I
mean, you could
I
say
have a
they forgot
feeling they
at
just forgot
launch,
about it.
but it's been
Oh yeah,
for nearly
they've had
5 years.
4 years. Yeah.
But yeah, fucking Nintendo, they're pretty shitty now.
Hmm.
I can't think of a single good thing they've done recently.
They released the new WarioWare game. That's about it.
Uh,
That's it. You know, they made a new WarioWare game, which is cool. Um, they haven't done anything else. It's yeah,
Yawn.
that that's how I feel whenever like I see Nintendo do something shitty on Twitter. Like, genuinely, like on my phone, I open Twitter, I scroll up to the top of my tab, and it just says half the time, Nintendo cease and desist, Smash modding, or Nintendo don't have any plans to make a new F-Zero, or there is no Nintendo Switch, online Game Boy, whatever.
The Nintendo Direct leaks confirmed, so there'll be a Nintendo Direct every day for the rest of the year.
Oh my god.
You see that one a lot.
Yeah, every day, mate. Every single week there is allegedly a Nintendo Direct planned.
Hmm
Can't fucking go anywhere without getting
They've got a
a
billion games
new
to
Nintendo
announce, but
Direct.
none to release.
Yeah.
Nintendo, everyone.
Well, that's what it feels like, doesn't it? Like, announce
It's
like
genuinely what it feels. Oh my god.
like they announce like 25 to 30 games per direct, and then it just feels like, oh, there's only like 2 games that are coming out for the Switch.
You
Like
never
it's
realize when they come out, do you? You just see them on
no,
like the eShop for sale like 2 months later.
yeah,
And
because
it's like,
nobody's
what the
buying
fuck?
them. They're just not selling, so they put them on like 60% reduction, and
What
even then they're
happened to
still
like
not
the
saying.
Nintendo Directs of old, where they would like have 3 directs where they announce the same things? It's like, I
But
miss it.
they still do sometimes, to be fair.
Well, yeah, with bigger games, you never see fucking like uh, fucking super titty bikini party, fucking
Well, there's a reason you don't see that in a Nintendo Direct.
um,
You got kids watching, mate.
what super fucking bikini party.
Super big titty bikini committee bonanza.
Um,
It's the new Senran
rub
Kagura game.
rub the titties
Ooh,
game.
ooh, getting a bit PG-13 now.
I really want it. Why wouldn't they announce it? No.
Ooh. Okay, horny.
But no. So yeah. What are we on about?
Just Nintendo being shit.
It's got
Like
it's got super fucking bikini parts in my mind.
just giving out about Nintendo. Like,
They are pretty shit in all
yeah,
fairness.
I haven't made a good game since 2019. probably. I can't think of a single good game they released since. Oh, actually, the Link's Awakening remake. That was pretty good. Don't know when that released though, but
Well, that was. I
oh,
hate to
it's
break it to
September
you.
last year.
No, that was 2019.
20. Oh my days.
Yeah.
Well, it is 2019 since I last made a good game then. Like, you know what's really bad, right? I've had my Switch for 4 years. I think I've spoken about this before. I've had my Switch for 4 years. I bought it at launch. I genuinely got my Switch March 2017 when it first came out.
hmm
Uh, in terms of games I've bought on cartridge for my console, I've bought 4 games on cartridge for it. For the entire 4 years I've had it. One of them came with the console, so I suppose it's actually 3. And they are Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is, fair enough. Pokemon Sword, because, well, I didn't even pay for it, I got it as a gift. So, in terms of ones I've actually bought, the only one I've actually bought is Smash Ultimate. And then I also have Ring Fit Adventure, because obviously you can go and only get that on cartridge. Comes with the Ring Fit Adventure. And it's like, does that not speak to the lack of big games on the console? Because I want to also point out, I do not have an SD card in my Switch. I'm just going off 32 gigs of storage on that thing. And I've never felt need to buy an SD card like proper. I never felt like a proper need to buy one. Because there's just never been a huge amount of games that I wanted for the console that would take up all that storage. Like, what big games have I actually bought on that thing? The only, like, proper big AAA release I've bought through the eShop was Mario Odyssey. That's it. Like,
hmm
the Switch is just. Everyone bangs on about how successful the Switch is, and yeah, I'm sure it is very successful, and I'm sure it sells very well. But then when you actually get into the meat of it, at least from my perspective, yeah, I grew up Nintendo. Like, I owned a Wii U, okay? I bought a Wii U for £300 when it first came out. That's how much of a Nintendo head I was, right? I just have no desire to get anything for my Switch. There's nothing coming out for the Switch I care about other than Breath of the Wild 2, or whatever they're going to call it. And that's probably not coming out. And when's it coming out? Christmas next year? Like, I've got a year and a quarter before a game that I'm actually interested in comes out for this console. And the console is 4 years old. Well, 4.5 years at this point. Do you know how mad that is? Like, if I take my Xbox, for example, right? I've had my Series X since probably March this year. Since I've had my Series X, I've bought more games on just my Series X than I have on my Switch through its entire lifetime. It's obscene. Like, maybe it's because the Xbox, it has backwards compatibility. Like, I can play Xbox games all the way back to the first Xbox, right? I can play Conker's Live and Reloaded, you know? Like, I can play Fusion Frenzy. But that doesn't really mean, like, I'm not buying the bigger games, like the newer, bigger games. Like, only a couple of weeks ago, I bought the next gen version of Judgment, which is a pretty big release from Sega. Obviously, it's one of the games in the Yakuza franchise. There's a new one of them coming out in a couple of days, and I'm probably going to be buying that as well. because, that's a game I'm actually excited for. Because somehow Sega are making more games that I'm excited for than Nintendo are. And Sega fell out of the console race in 2001. You know, it's like I feel like it's maybe I'm not getting across like how much I've fallen out of love with Nintendo, or maybe I am. But like to me, this is mind-boggling thinking that I'm more excited for Super Monkey Ball Banana Frenzy, or whatever the new Super Monkey Ball game is called. I'm more excited for that than I am for anything on the Switch in the next 12 months. Unless Bayonetta 3 drops before my birthday, unless Bayonetta 3 drops before September 2022, or Metro Prime 4 drops before September 2022, the Switch is dead to me. It's done. Like, it has been for a long time. But this is like this is a bad time for Nintendo, and a lot of Nintendo fans sort of don't seem to see it. I feel like I
They
think
never do. They never do see it.
yeah, I think if you're probably like you obviously use your Switch a lot more than I do. You're probably a better barometer of this than I am. But would I be right in saying that after the first 2 years of the Switch's life, it sort of died a bit?
Yeah, I mean, there was a few titles that were.
Like after Smash came out, was there really anything, you know, after that, other than like Fire Emblem, which I really don't care about?
I mean, yeah, you had the few big months where it's like back-to-back games where it's like there's like Link's Awakening, Luigi's Mansion, but
Yeah,
that was it after Smash.
yeah.
Um,
Like there hasn't
there's
been
not really
a
been much
proper,
else.
there hasn't been a proper AAA release since.
Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting. I mean, Xenoblade Definitive Edition, but that's just
It's
like a
just a, it's a.
remake.
I was gonna say
Well, Link's
that's
Awakening is a remake, I guess.
yeah. Like Xenoblade 1 is a remaster of a game that came out on the 3DS and the Wii. Like, if that's one of your AAA releases,
Mm.
that's poor. One of the biggest releases they've had this year is a HD remaster of a Wii game for £60. Like, if that doesn't scream dead, I, I don't know what does. I hate. I've already mentioned it a few times, but going back to the Sega point, Sega released a Sonic game in possibly the worst state I've ever seen in the Sonic Colors remaster, and they're still having a better year than Nintendo. Like it, it how does this happen? Well,
Yeah.
I know. Well, it's sort of a rhetorical question because I know how it happened. Nintendo get lazy. They just sit there like, oh well, doesn't matter. We're going to make money anyway because they will, won't they? It doesn't matter what they do. They're going to make money because big smelly Nintendo nerds are just going to fucking lap it up.
It applies to every possible fandom. It's like if you really support something, then no matter what, you will just like do everything in your power to like buy everything they produce or something. You know what I mean? It's like people will
I,
convince themselves that what they like, or no,
yeah,
well, what
they
they
convince
liked
themselves that
previously.
something is better than it actually is and stuff.
I mean, we see it all the
Cough
time
cough.
nowadays. Like,
Drake.
I mean, yeah, we saw it with
Fucking
people were saying that about like Donda and stuff, and
yeah, they were saying Certified Boy Lover was a better album than Donda. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean they were both.
What one's a hell of a lot better than the other. I'll tell you that for free. I
Uh,
mean, one
yeah.
one has a line that is literally, "You said you're a lesbian, me too." What the?
Well, yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
this man's 34 years old and he's saying, "Oh yeah, no, I'm a lesbian." Fuck off.
but no, I mean, it's like that with every fan base. I mean, it's like that with like,
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, let's face it, DC fans.
COD,
uh,
COD, COD,
cards,
COD,
yeah.
COD fans will do whatever they can to try and convince themselves, like shit, like Vanguard and Cold War last year. Bro, the amount of people I saw trying to convince themselves Cold War was a good game because they paid full price for it at launch.
It's
Oh my
like
god.
you don't want people to be like you wasted your money on something that
Yeah,
isn't that
they
good.
don't want to feel that they wasted them. Because, I've done it on games before. Like, were, I think, like, I can't remember when it came out, but I paid pretty much full price to pre-order a Dragon Ball Z game, or Dragon Ball Z Kakarot for the PS4. And I paid like full price, and I think the game is okay, like nothing special. But I was playing it, I was trying to convince myself it was worth the 60 quid I paid for it, and it really isn't. Like
Mm,
if if I'd got it on sale for 25 quid, which you probably could now, I'd probably be like happier with the game. Like I'd be okay with it being like a 6 out of 10, which is what it is. But like in my head, I was trying to convince myself, no, it's better than that because I've paid for a better game than that. Like,
yeah,
but Nintendo fans fucking fork over 60 quid to get a HD remaster of Yoshi's Island. So
hey,
well, they would. No, Yoshi's
that
Island.
that
That's a
you
bad
gotta admit
example because
that's
Yoshi's
hype.
Island's a good game. Um,
Exactly.
what's like some fucking shitty ass Turok? There you go. Nintendo fans will fork over 60 quid to get a HD remaster
Oh god.
Turok Dinosaur Hunter on the Nintendo 64, and they will like it by their own admission. They have to. But yeah, I think I've complained about Nintendo long enough. Obviously, you've got your own topic to complain about in a bit.
Yeah.
Um, but just before then, we've got the midpoint of our show, which obviously normally would be the top or flop. Um, but I think if we're being honest with ourselves here, Joe, I think top or flop is dead.
I think it flopped.
I think it did flop,
The concept didn't.
unfortunately.
Well, no, the concept
Concept
worked.
wasn't awful. It's a good idea in concept, but I can't play any of the songs. Most of the songs aren't really like to your song knowledge. I'm just getting them straight off the charts half the time, and like you admit it yourself, you don't really listen to like chart music,
No.
so a lot of the time you just wouldn't know the song, and then it's just me just sitting there just going like, okay, well I'll give you a hint, and
It's funny
then
because the ones that did best then were ones like
usually the ones that I thought you probably wouldn't. Well,
yeah, like
other than like Pitbull one,
the devil went down to Georgia. It's like
yeah, I didn't expect you to get that one,
that,
but then you got
that was
it
probably
like
the biggest surprise
got
of the
like two,
century.
yeah, you got like 2 out of 3 on it. The only thing you got wrong was like the year or something.
Yeah, which I'm
Yeah,
bound to get wrong.
yeah, I was gonna say like the year one is a bit tight in it because it's
Yeah,
really hard to get the year. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I think despite the fact it feels like it's been around for ages on the show, I think we only actually ended up doing 5 episodes of it or 5 parts of it.
well, there were some weeks where you missed a few,
Yes, yeah,
so it feels like it went on for a while because It did, but you didn't actually do that many of them.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, top or flop is dead. And instead we'll just
Yeah.
we
Do like the
haven't
Star
we
Wars
haven't
celebration.
yeah.
La 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 la. Oh, probably
But yes,
not.
we don't have a another quiz segment to replace it yet. Unfortunately, maybe we will by next week. Maybe.
Yeah.
But for now, just talk about just Lego
Mm.
because I was struggling for things and I thought, you know what, Lego because
Talked about
I've
Lego a billion times.
we have it's mostly just like what do we think about how it is now as opposed to how it was when we were children, I guess.
Hmm.
Like in my experience, I haven't bought Lego for a couple years now. I think the last Lego set I bought, I actually bought it in like a B&M or something because I just saw it on the shelves in B&M and I was like, ooh, 15 quid for I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a Lego wrecking ball from Overwatch, and it was like 15 quid. So I was like, you know what, I can put 15 quid down on that. It's actually like not a bad build. I don't have it here. I've left it back home, which is a shame because as soon as any girls see I've got a Lego wrecking ball,
Hmm.
tell you
They'll be
what,
wrecking your balls.
it's a good one,
Well, that's very graphic. Oh God.
mate.
Um,
Just fucking crush them up. It's like the fucking the meme where it's like, did you see my message? I like getting my balls kicked.
oh,
I'm assuming you haven't seen that.
no.
So on the same topic of balls, we'll sort of take a little detour here. Have you seen Nicki Minaj is alleging that her cousin friend took the COVID vaccine in I think it was Cuba or Panama or somewhere in the Central Americas. And apparently after he got the jab, his testicles got so swollen, each of them was about the size of a tennis.
What?
Yeah.
What is she on about?
Apparently that's what's happened. She just made like a tweet about it, and everyone just thought it was the funniest shit for like a day. It's just
Wow.
such a random.
What? What?
Never knew that. Such a random side effect to make up that you have because yeah, mate, your balls haven't just fucking grown to being the size of like tangerine
They
from
were probably
getting a
already like
COVID
that, and he
jab.
was just like, yeah, yeah.
He's probably just got the clap.
Yeah.
He's probably just got the clap or something.
It's like a fucking horrible STD.
Yeah, he's got some like fucking horrible like mega virus. Like he's got like gonorrhea, chlamydia, AIDS, just all rolled into one.
Got fucking Super 8s or some shit.
He got like early on.
Mom, I promise it's not AIDS. It's the COVID virus. It did it. It's the COVID vaccine. It did it to me. I promise.
It sounds like the video that he's been. I was just my pants fell down and I was pulling back up. I was searching I got a virus. I deleted the
That's brilliant.
virus.
Like
Yeah,
that video, the
classic.
entire way through just goes from like it's going to like a fucking domestic incident. It's like
Yeah.
the woman's like
It's
fucking
what
hitting
a
him and
classic.
shit. And,
What a classic.
oh, it's brilliant. Well, not the fact that she's like hitting him,
Oh
but
yeah,
like,
no, obviously we don't. Well, I was going to say we don't condone
ooh,
violence against them, which is true. Um, being told on Roblox is fun.
hey. Um,
I
yeah,
mean, I hold my hands up. I hold my hands up.
we've
Um,
bullied many. Roblox kids
Many
in our
children.
time.
We have. Well, there's literally audio of being from. Uh, how long ago? It was before one holiday. One of the episodes we recorded. I had to bully. Smooth. So people. Um, like expensive, innit? For the most part. Yeah, it's really expensive. It's not really big, but so good as come from another. But yeah, uh,
I was, I was just, I was just saying, your mic is. I don't know if it's just me. That's why I left and rejoined. But your mic is like cutting out quite a bit.
that's my connection.
Okay.
Because as the viewers will know, I have unfortunately, the internet connection in my uni accommodation is not the most consistent. So
It's a hard knock life.
for us,
Well, for you.
but hey, yeah,
I'm doing great. I've got like.
consistent connection. I'm watching it.
I've got brilliant internet right now.
I'm in the voice bar just flipping from like red one bar to three like green, just back and forth. It's great.
But no, so yeah, what were you on about
Uh,
Lego?
it's expensive, really
It is
expensive.
expensive nowadays, especially for like the license sets.
Yeah, Lego Technic as well. Technic's expensive.
Yeah, it's because they know like most like adults will buy Technic.
Yeah,
So it's like we can get more money.
yeah. I love Technic, so annoying for me because I want to get like the big, like like the Porsche builds. I just can't
Yeah,
afford it. It's a shame.
uh,
Oh,
it is a
like
it is a shame.
yeah, Lego Star Wars was really like the amount of bricks you get per set, like well per I guess pound you would pay. It's decreasing dramatically.
Mm.
Um,
Uh,
yeah,
I don't really have
these days are a
much
bit shit as
thought.
well.
I don't have much thoughts on Lego. What I've been buying recently is the Marvel CMF, and that's like it's just for me like CMFs have just gotten very expensive. I don't know if they were always £3.50,
Oh,
but
the minifigures.
yeah,
I think they used to be £2.50, but the licensed ones were always a bit more. Because I remember when the first like licensed set of minifigures they did was Simpsons,
mm,
and they were running them at the same time as a regular set of minifigures. And I remember I went into Smith's. This is years and years ago. I went into Smith's and they were sat right next, at like 50p difference, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you realise that's like 20% of the original minifigures packet, it is quite a bit.
yeah. I mean, you're just paying for the brand right there. So not
That's
much
exactly
to.
what it is. That's exactly what it is.
They always got to give a bit to like Fox and all that, and or
Yeah,
whoever owns the toy rights to. The Simpsons, I guess. But no.
Yeah.
Well, no, that pisses me off.
Yeah.
I've nearly got them all though. I only need four more. So
Which,
you what?
which are you missing?
I'm missing Bucky, Loki, Captain Carter, and Gamora.
Fair enough.
So I mean, two of them I really don't want.
You
One
don't
of
want
them I'm
the
not
Captain
bothered
Carter.
about. I don't want Captain Carter or Gamora. I'm not bothered about Bucky,
He's
and
Loki for the little.
Loki is just meh.
Want to get the little
So,
frog. Want to get the little frog get with it.
oh, that looks awful.
Wow.
Just
This and
saying,
frog like that.
just spitting facts. Hey,
Can't
I like Frog. I
do
just
boy dirty.
don't want a Lego Frog.
Wow.
That, and that's the truth, and it will set you free.
Mm.
Our truth.
What's up? God.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So, to be honest, this Lego segment was just like a bridge, I guess, because obviously we
Hey,
haven't really.
I
Started.
like getting to talk about
Yeah.
like Lego, and I
Mm.
just don't have money to buy it.
Yeah. Well,
It
that's my
issues for
problem.
me, I guess.
If I had a amount in, probably would buy quite a bit Lego, but I didn't. Oh well.
Oh well. Right, I guess it's time for the sus.
Bing, 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 bing.
Um, so the first segment, like always, is Joe Hates, and today on Joe Hates we have something that I'm pretty I'm experienced with, but I'm also pretty passionate about. Um, Today it is third party Fortnite skins,
Oh my god.
and this comes right in time for the new season. Um, as where we just got a new Carnage skin.
Carnag.
Yay! Everyone's excited. No, they're not. They're
I
really
think
not.
the skin looks quite nice. I
Shut
might be
up,
in the
Fortnite kid.
I might be in the minority. Like when my brother was looking at the battle pass, I was in the same room and I was like, "Oh, that looks
I mean, the skin does look nice,
yeah,
but it's Fortnite.
yeah,
Um, so yeah. Um, fuck, where was I?
carnage."
Yeah. So so third party Fortnite skins. I just think uh they're just there. Well, obviously just there to get money, but they cloud the minds of the kids who buy the skins or the kids who play Fortnite. Um, for example, my little sisters, and when we were we were watching something yesterday, which made me think of this. Oh shit, what was it? Oh
You were
fucking
watching the
hell!
football, you saw Neymar, and they said, "Look, it's guy from Fortnite."
No, we were watching a video, right? So she's learning violin for school, right? And
Ooh,
um, we were watching a video that came up. So we were looking at like the Avengers theme on violin 'cause she wanted to learn it. Um, so I put it on, and then there was another video by the same guy, and it's like playing video game music on violin. So we watched that one, and then so the Halo theme came up, and he was wearing a Master Chief helmet. Now she does not know Halo,
I can see where this is going.
but she knows the Master Chief skin in Fortnite. So she went to me, "Hey, that's the skin from Fortnite that you have," and I was just like,
That's pain.
"It sure is."
That's
And
pain.
yeah, and then there's another one for God of War, and I was just like, I was joking with her. I was like, "Yeah, that's also a guy from Fortnite." She's like, no, it was painful, but it was also pretty funny. Just her being part of the "it's the guy from Fortnite" trend. But um, yeah, it just pisses me off because like it's the same with like the Mandalorian and fucking Blade. I don't know. It's just they're putting all these skins into Fortnite, and kids are just thinking, "Oh yeah, they're from Fortnite now," and it's I think I don't know if it's because we're old and we just like we know
Maybe.
these things. Like, would we have done it back in the day? It's just like
I mean, to be fair, if I'd have had skin in Fortnite, it's just design for a character, so I probably. So I actually thought I was Bad Boys, not the Matrix.
it's it's weird because back in our day, we didn't really have we didn't really have skins in games, let alone like third party skins.
Oh yeah,
But
well when we were growing up, like what's in the game is what ships on the disc. Like
exactly.
you didn't have add-ons really.
So I guess we knew like a lot of because like for me, I started getting into Star Wars because I played Lego Star Wars. So I guess it's
That's what
sort of a similar thing where it's like um if you sort of associate it with something else, you'll be more inclined to like watch it or something or play it.
okay.
Uh, which is definitely the case because like when there's like a character that comes into Smash Bros. And I've never played it before, I might buy the game and check it out. I did that with Dragon Quest. I mean, I wanted to get Dragon Quest 11 anyway, but I wanted to do it more after Hero came into the game. So I guess it works as a marketing like strategy, but it's still annoying that their first association
Yeah,
will
first
be
thought is
the first association will be a from a game and f again from Fortnite, which as as Simu would say is what was the quote? It was like fucking
there's something about selling out.
Jar Jar Binks
Yes, Jar Jar
of video
Binks.
games,
Yeah,
which is an incredible quote.
very
But
ironic
yeah,
nowadays.
oh, extremely. But he has a point. I mean, I bet he wasn't the one who
Hmm.
said, "Yeah, I want my skin in Fortnite."
Oh yeah, no, like
And just
Marvel
because he plays the
marketing probably
character in
just made
film,
him.
like it's not like it's the film design of the character either. It's the comic book design. So you can't really say that because it's not his design. It's not based on him. It's just based on the character. So I guess
Yeah,
so. But that's pretty much my rant. It's just, I mean, it's great that we're seeing some representation and kids are being exposed to these games and films and stuff because it definitely helped my sister's love of Marvel. By the way, she's really into Marvel at the minute, which is incredible. Um, so she could be a fat geek for the rest of her life. But yeah.
just like a brother.
Wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
Got him.
Calm down, pal. Calm down. No, you have a point. But Oh, fuck, where are we? What are we doing? But yeah, that's pretty much the rant over. So up next on the the sus is what's the list? Hang on.
Yo, mama.
What game is going to do better this year? And I was speaking to my dad about this yesterday. So
There's a very sense.
well, this is more FPS games because they normally do better anyway um, than fucking any other game would do. Um, that's not a fact. That's the truth. Uh, you can't hate on it because it's the truth. But so, what do you think would do better?
COD.
COD,
Yep,
Halo, or
that's COD.
Battlefield?
Well, you see, Joe, I've got each of the series sales here. And
Ah, okay, okay.
Battlefield is actually an older franchise than
hmm
Battlefield. Total sales only come to around 90 million series-wise, whereas Call of Duty, as of April on, they have sold over 400 million. Now, that's probably because COD release games a lot quicker. They're churning a new one out every. So, of course, their sales are going to be better. But as a franchise, COD is much bigger.
Hmm.
And I think Halo, you can't even really put into the conversation because Halo is a big franchise, yes, but it's also console locked, whereas COD and Battlefield aren't.
Well,
So
what you also need to remember is that Halo is
free.
uh it's it's
In
free
Halo
now. Well, free
Infinite's, yeah.
multiplayer.
Well, you see
Um,
that's where it like comes in because if you're talking just straight up sales, Halo is complete because you get sales for free users, do you? Unless you're buying like skins or whatever. But like, people that are going to be playing it, the multiplayer is you know the same number as people who are going to pay for the story.
but you're also what we're also seeing now is with the COD Vanguard beta, it's not
Good. It's not good.
well, yeah, it's not good, but it's not performing well. Normally, like COD betas, they
COD is
do
over the place.
they get everyone excited.
This one
They get
feels
loads of views on
really
Twitch, loads of views on YouTube, and we're just not seeing that
yeah.
this time
It,
around.
it feels very subdued.
Mm.
Unless people be interested in one. Me, Cold War was such a disappointment, and a lot of people I wasn't disappointed, but no, we paid full price for it. I'd try and convince themselves that it's a good game it's to go for. Well,
And this is basically where I just think that Battlefield is just going to come out on top because people are pretty excited for that. Well, I'm pretty sure they are anyway. There's a lot of buzz going on about it, so I don't know because I'm not really into all these games. Like I bought COD last year, practically never played it, uh, and then gave it to my dad when he got his PS5. So
probably could have thought shit.
I'm not big of a FPS guy, and obviously like let's face it, I'm not going to be playing Halo. Like
Even
my
if it
my
is free.
Xbox is rotting under my bed right now. And would I spend the money on Battlefield? I won't.
No.
I won't. Like,
Battlefield, more like Shuttlefield, am I right?
exactly. But I do feel like I, I grew up with COD. I used to play it out all the time, and then I sort of just realized that I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just so I know what it's like to play COD because I just think it was it just hit a point where it's just shit and the ideas got lazy and
Well, I think a lot of people would agree with you. Like, a lot of people really think after Black Ops 3, the franchise a bit of a no, which I, I probably would agree with, personally. Um, that's I played was Black Ops 4, and even then, I thought Black Ops 4 was a bit like I got Prestige 3 times Black Ops 4, and I don't think it's bad. I just think it was quite middle of the road. I think the focus in Black Ops games to being very futuristic. There's only so much you can do, and I think they hit that wall quite early, unfortunately.
yeah. I mean, Black Ops 1 was one of my favorite games ever. Like I
Mm.
used to play that all the time as a kid. Um,
Yeah,
I used to get some of my friends around. This was back when I was in first school, which is insane how I was able to play it back then. But my
yeah.
dad's a huge COD nerd, COD consumer. I love you, really, Dad.
Kojima.
Um, consumer, yeah. And yeah, it was one of my favorite games. I loved that. But would I enjoy it now if like they were to remake it?
Hey, you
Probably not.
might.
What if they said with COD Vanguard, you get a free, like they did with Modern Warfare,
Yeah,
remastered a
they
while
should
ago.
that with
You get a
Infinite Warfare.
free version.
To be honest, that's the only
I would be
reason I
like,
bought Infinite Warfare. Play genuinely.
I fucking love
Infinite
Modern
Warfare.
Warfare.
Infinite
Oh,
Warfare.
I want to go play it now.
Infinite Warfare is terrible.
I might have to re-download it. Um,
Hey, the remaster's good. Like, say what you will about the second one, cutting the campaign into like a separate game. The Modern Warfare remaster, it was good.
it was
So,
good. I really enjoyed it. Um, but no, so yeah, I think that's pretty much all we can say about these three
yeah,
topics because
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I have no experience with Battlefield, and
I don't either, but a lot of people at my college play it and they enjoy it. So
yeah, like my brother's played Battlefield 4 quite a bit, and from what I've heard, Battlefield 4 and 1 are probably the best ones, I think.
I mean, they
Battlefield
don't
5,
really do
I know is
well
bad.
at getting new players into it.
Yeah,
From
yeah,
getting people who love the franchise and making them enjoy it, it does really well. So who knows? Maybe we'll have to give it a shot. Um,
maybe. I'm
we
more
won't. We
likely,
won't.
much more likely to give Halo Infinite a shot because I don't have to pay
Yeah,
for it.
that's exactly why it's probably going to do so well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the campaign's probably going to fall flat on its arse because it's going to be like, what's it? Fortnite Save the World, isn't it? Like, because you can just get the thing that everybody's going to be playing for free. Why would you pay for the single player mode?
But do we, as gamers now, really care about campaign when the multiplayer is so good?
I do personally because like I prefer single player games personally.
I would much rather like campaign and FPS games where it's solely focused on campaign.
Like
rather than
something like
having a multiplayer. Because if
yeah,
we think about like Marvel Avengers, this is not an FPS game, but it has like a multiplayer game mode. I've never touched that multiplayer game mode
yeah.
once, but I sort of enjoyed the campaign for what it was. I mean, it was a fun experience. I wouldn't play it again, but it was fun. I've not gone back to it. It was only like 16 hours, but like it was still pretty cool.
Quite well. Like
I,
my of all time, I would probably say, is Doom 2016, and
Mhm.
the multiplayer mode in that is pretty much non-existent. Like, only put one in because the not producers, the publishers wanted one. Like, the game is almost entirely campaign focused, and it's so much better. It's so detailed and like it. It's such a good game. If you haven't played Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal, I massively recommend those games. They are very good.
I mean, I'm not a Doom guy, but I do like Duke
Uh,
Nukem, so I might have to give him a go.
Doom guy.
Um,
That's the name of the main character. Doom guy.
oh,
It's a
I
good one.
didn't even. Oh, fuck's sake! I, oh, I didn't even make the connection. Fuck. Right, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. But speaking of Doom guy, he's one of the front runners for
Rumored to
Smash,
be in Super Smash Brothers, isn't
and another character who's also heavily rumored to be in Smash, Crash Bandicoot,
it?
which
Crash
is our final
Bandicoot.
topic for today.
Crash
Um,
Bandicoot.
I just said that was the final topic without actually checking that I did have that as a topic, but
It
luckily
is the
I
final
did.
topic. Yeah.
I was debating what to do, but yeah.
Yeah.
So Crash Bandicoot is incredible. At least the main series games and some of the racing games.
Mm.
Well, pretty much all the racing games
Yeah,
are brilliant.
they're right.
Um, but yeah, so what are your thoughts on Crash Bandicoot?
Well, as like a character or franchise, um,
Either you can explore this how you like.
I, I don't really have anything to say on him as a character. Um, he's, I don't know. He's a bit of a blank slate of a character. Like, he's
Hmm.
just a good guy. He wears jorts. Like, he's just John Cena, isn't he? He's the original John Cena, but he spins a bit more. So
And he's Aussie.
he is. He's canonically from Australia, which is unfortunate. I'm
Ooh.
joking.
There goes our Australian fans, Jack.
I'm joking. I like Australia.
Oh, God's sake.
Australia gave us the immense talent of Super Wog. So I can't complain about Australia.
Oh,
Super
Super
Wog.
One are brilliant.
Oh my god! While I was on the plane back from Greece, I watched the entire series of the Super Wog TV show, the first season, and honestly, I was cracking. It's great stuff. Super
I'm
Wog.
really looking forward to cracking up.
I'm really looking forward to cracking up. Uh,
I haven't cracked up in a while.
yeah, yeah, Super Wog, great stuff. Love you really, Australia. Big ups, Max Mofo Gaming. Yeah, no, it's just Pokemon. That's the main channel. Anyway, um, yeah, Bandicoot as games. Um, I haven't really played huge amount. Like, and I mean, at this point, who um, I I've only really played the first game in the N trilogy and like a bit of the second one. Um, they're good. Uh, Maybe because the first one is a bit hit and miss. Like my experience isn't like I absolutely love these games. I think they're okay. I think the first one, the difficulty level is, especially in the Insane trilogy, it's a bit of a barrier of entry because, like, the difficulty level really fluctuates a lot in the first game, and it sort of took me out of it because, like, I don't know, the movements are tilted sometimes. It's very easy to overshoot a jump in the first one, at least. It doesn't feel great to play, even after the remaster. No, obviously the original, janky as fuck, but they could have maybe made it a bit smoother, and they didn't really. But like the second one, from what I played of the second one, was a lot better. Felt a lot smoother. The level design was a lot more forgiving. Yeah, like I haven't even played. What's the third one? Warped. I haven't played Warped. And I haven't actually played the racing games either. I haven't got. What's it? Crash Team Racing? No.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, right. Yes,
I'm pretty
CTR.
sure it is.
Yeah, CTR.
I used to play one of the Crash Team Racings on the PSP, and I used to fucking play it all the time.
Oh, that was. Because, like, thing is, right, I've only played a couple of the Crash games, but I know pretty much like all the games. YouTube. I still do occasionally. Used to review like all the Crash Bandicoot games, so I know all of them off the top of my head. I think PSP Racing would have been Racing for the PS2. I think
Yeah,
sounds about right.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to play it all the time, and as soon as I'll beat it, I'll play it over again.
yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I love like the fart sounds and fucking
Of course, you would love the
brilliant.
fart sounds, wouldn't you?
I'll be like, farting. So
Stinky,
funny.
oh, stinky.
But yeah, that was everyone's sense of humor when they were a kid, I guess. But
Still is mine. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, as a franchise, like obviously I recognise the amount of impact it had. I think maybe because we have grown up with like the franchise as a whole. So when we were growing up, it was very much like pushed to the sidelines.
oh,
Like you got
definitely.
like Crash of the Titans on the Wii, which was awful,
I
and
also had that one on the PSP.
that was Brat, awful game.
I know.
Like, that's the Crash game I played like any of, and it was oh god. Uh, I think maybe we're a bit late for the franchise to have proper like like we're not enough. Like the stuff I grew up with was like the Lego game and Super Mario Galaxy, um, Skyward Sword, stuff like that. Like we grew up with like the Wii and the 360, PS3, whatever.
Mhm.
So by that point, the franchise was dead. If we're being honest. So like, I only really got into Crash Bandicoot when I bought the Insane trilogy back in 2019.
Yeah.
So of course, I recognise like, how important it is gaming in general. But yeah, for me, like it doesn't really have like that much of a place, unfortunately. Just, just because like by the time we were born, the franchise was already on its legs. By the time we were like old enough to be playing on the Wii, the PS3, the Xbox, whatever, um, it was just dead in the water.
Yeah. And I think that's a fair review, if you will.
Yeah. It's a different boat Spyro, though, because we had Skylanders. So Spyro
It is.
holds. So even like I've got Spyro Trilogy on my PlayStation as well. That for some reason because of Skylanders, because Skylanders, like we both grew up, like, playing pretty much all of them, getting all the figures, all sorts of shite, and like Spyro in it. He was the one who used to market the entire franchise when it came out. So,
So
and
yeah,
personally,
Skylanders.
I prefer. It might be a hot take. I prefer the gameplay of the Spyro Reignited trilogy to the Insane trilogy. I prefer like the more like open 3D environments to the just
Oh yeah, I mean, Spyro is more like an open world sort of thing,
yeah,
whereas Spyro
yeah.
is like
That's
it's
more
like
my
a
kind of value.
platformer,
Yeah,
but you can go like left to right
yeah, yeah,
as well as back and
yeah.
forth. And
It's a platformer with X, Y, and Z axis as
yeah,
opposed to X and Y axis. Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose that would be Mario 64 would be the first like, proper one. It's a linear 3D platformer is what it's.
yeah. I hate platformers.
Wow. Mr. Nintendo here. Hey,
No, it's because I made one for my summer project at college,
I know
and
shit.
no, I did all right on it. It was cool. We'll play it on stream. I think I might be streaming, well, as of recording. So well, I might be streaming when this goes out. So we'll
Ooh.
play some of my games on stream. I think that would be kind of cool.
Mm. I'm
Uh,
gonna play some against Armageddon.
that was never done. So
Oh, leave
unfortunately,
it.
no.
No boss fight.
That was never an engine.
No boss fight. Nothing.
No, unfortunately not. But no,
Disgraceful.
yeah, that'll be pretty cool thing to do. So we'll do
Yeah.
some of that, and we'll do some Yakuza.
Mm.
But bit of a plug from me there, but
Yeah.
it's
Uh,
relevant. It's relevant.
and with that plug, we'll plug in the sync that is the end of this podcast.
Yeah,
Listen, it's tenuous, mate. I'm pulling it to a close, like I'm pulling a plug out of a sink.
no.
Yeah, no, see, it doesn't work. Um, yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this week's episode, well, it's a little shorter than usual. But who cares? Gives more time to edit it. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe. If you've already subscribed, remember to click that notification bell. Right down the subscribe button is.
Mhm.
Leave a comment down below, saying, I don't know, whatever you want. Leave your favourite part of the show. Just be a spoiler if you really want. Don't, you know, unless you want to get cancelled. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week, hopefully, for the episode of The WAP.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, my friend. We leave again. It's been. No, I'm just gonna stop singing. Right.
Trash. Absolute trash. I was disgusted.